let's talk about playmats. I've got way too many of these things, and you probably do too. Like, honestly, you really just need one, right? But we all want to have one for our favorite game, actually multiple for our favorite game, multiple for all your favorite games if you play a lot of games, and then you can't get rid of the tournament ones. You won those, you're judged at a thing, and you won that from that. You just don't want to get rid of them. You have your old game that died that you got to keep all your playmats for because it could be worth something someday. If you're in the TCG hobby, you have a lot of playmats. That's just something that tends to happen. So what do you do for playmat storage? Here's what mine looks like. It's not good. At least I have a bunch of tubes. I have them in tubes. That's nice. Some of them. Half of them. Less than half of them. This is why I got very interested when I saw the Kickstarter campaign by Nerdgear Gaming for the Playmat Sanctuary. I actually just caught a random ad for this, thought it looked kind of cool. I dug into it, and honestly, after I saw the prices for everything, I backed the campaign already. I'm telling you that right up front. I thought these look really great, a cool way to store my playmats. I could even use it as a potential backdrop in the studio here for my videos. And then I reached out to Miguel at Nerdgear Gaming, and I sent him an email. I said, hey, Miguel, would you be interested in sending me a sample so I can check it out and show you guys? And he said yes. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you the Playmat Sanctuary, which is currently on Kickstarter. And as we're posting this video, should have about 10 more days left on Kickstarter. And I'm going to let you know if I'm keeping my backing. And if you stick around to the end of the video and you decide you might be interested in the Playmat Sanctuary, I'm also going to have a sort of affiliate link, a kick booster link that you can access the Kickstarter from. And it does send a kickback to me if you do decide to back it as well. So let's get into my opinions on the Playmat Sanctuary. What's up, everyone? It's Dan with Main Deck, and today we are looking at the Playmat Sanctuary from Nerdgear Gaming. This is a new item that is on Kickstarter right now for about 10 more days. If you like the look of it after this video, you are welcome to go and back it. And if you do want to back it, we have a link in the description that you can use. It's an affiliate style link that'll give a kickback to me if you do decide to back it. So please, if you do like it, go ahead and use that. Let's talk about this though. See if this might or might not be for you. I'm going to go through the most sort of honest review I can of this item. I'm going to do my best to kind of hold it up and show you everything here, even though my studio space is maybe not super ideal for an object of this size. So this is the Playmat Sanctuary from Nerdgear Gaming. The first thing I want to talk about is what this is designed for. Now, I've seen a lot of people, we'll post a picture of them here, a lot of people who have used things like these vinyl roll holders. I think became popular for people storing their playmats. Now, these things can store an awful lot of playmats, but they are not designed necessarily to the correct size for holding playmats. And then you have some companies that have made similar versions that are meant to hold playmats. But again, these all have the same issue that I noticed, which is that nothing covers the playmat itself. So if you keep your playmats in these, they will have dust settle on them. Or you need to buy tubes for every single playmat that you want to store in these things. So the first thing that I thought was really interesting about this project that I haven't seen before is that this is storing the playmats in their entirety. As long as you're using these sort of standard 14-inch wide playmats, these are going to be stored completely in a plastic covering, which is going to keep them free from dust, which is quite nice. Now, every single Playmat Sanctuary can hold up to 12 playmats in here. Plus, it does have a spot at the bottom for you to put a playmat tube in. But as you can see, actually in here, I was testing some sizes of things, and I'm able to fit these standard sort of tighter Ultra Pro playmat tubes. These are the playmat tubes where if you have thicker playmats, the kinds with the stitched edges and the thicker material, those don't always fit cleanly in those tubes, and you have to use, I've had to use larger tubes for those before. Larger tubes like these triangular monster ones, these will likely not fit in your Playmat Sanctuary. And I say likely because the Playmat Sanctuary I was sent actually was an early version that is not all sized accurately. So that's one thing I noticed, and I'm expecting and hoping that in the final version, at least I spoke to Miguel from Nerdgear Gaming, who said that that was just an issue, I believe, from these early runs, and the final runs will have consistent sizing and everything. But some of these were sized Like this is a bigger hole to hold the playmat than some of the other ones. So they're not sized totally consistently, to the point where I was able to fit a full triangular tube into this one. And actually you just saw a playmat slipped out of this one because this one is a little bit too wide as well. So that is the first word of, I think, very, very light caution I want to give. Just that the sample I was sent wasn't totally consistent in these, but I am told by the producers of this that that was just an issue with the sample, and that the full version from the Kickstarter should have consistent sizing for all of these. That said, when the sizing is consistent on these playmats are staying put. Especially, I think I have some thicker ones up here, though this, let's see, this altered one is not a thicker style of playmat. It fits perfectly in here and doesn't slide out. But some of these that got sized a little too big, yeah, the playmats did just slide right out of them. Like I mentioned, an Ultra Pro tube fits in here. Now, these monsters aren't supposed to fit in here, but the monster will fit cleanly right down here. So you can see this included one of these kind of strap solutions, a lot like the other companies with their playmat holders had throughout the whole thing, which is nice if you have just one playmat you want to use on the go that you already keep in a tube. I think you could use those other solutions if you just tubed your entire collection, but as you saw in my stuff, I tubed like half of them and I got tired of buying tubes. I think I got those tubes on sale on an online retailer. They were like clearancing tubes, and I just bought a ton of them. And I'm really excited that I'll be able to use the tubes in the Playmat Sanctuary, so I didn't like waste the tubes necessarily. And for the couple of these monster size tubes that I have for some of my playmats, I can still use them in this as well. So really the thing I liked about this was that it felt like a solution that fit everything in my playmat collection already right out of the gate. Now, as far as the materials used in construction, this is made from a very thick felt. I was actually kind of surprised. It says it's felt on the Kickstarter, but when I got this in, I wasn't expecting this exact material. You can see the texture of this. It did feel a little to me like a craft store material right away, but this is super thick, super sturdy. I don't think this is going to go anywhere, and it has a very nice stitched edge across the whole thing, so we're not looking at likely any fraying or anything. With what looks like a very sturdy stitch on the back for the hanger. That's one thing that I was a little concerned about too, is I don't want this thing to detach with the weight of the playmats in here, but I can't imagine this going anywhere at this point. So I do think the felt was probably a good material to use for this. It looks quite nice. I was sent the blue one, by the way. There are a bunch of different colors. I didn't choose anything. They just sent me this, and that's cool. Blue's actually my favorite color, so that works out really nicely. But I think I'm going to get a bunch of black ones from the Kickstarter instead. The box also came with a metal hook that you can use. You can hang this over a door and then hang your playmats on this hook, which is nice. That's a nice option. The thing I was probably going to do was get some sort of a bar set up between some pieces of furniture here, and I was just going to use a hanger, a little clothes hanger that you can hang this right on, and I think that'll look quite nice too. We'll see if I end up displaying these like horizontally or to the side like this. I'm not totally sure, but I do think that it's got enough options to make that kind of work for whatever I'm looking for. And another option you have too is, you can see at the bottom, it's got a couple of straps on it, and you can actually roll this up. I mean, yeah, it's okay. It's a little bit scuffed, I think, with this tube here. I'm going to take this tube out. I think you could still make it work with the tube, but it's going to be just a lot cleaner if I take the bottom tube out. We're going to take these two straps and tie them here. Okay, there we go. So yeah, I rolled it up. I think that's maybe how you're supposed to do it, and it did work still with several tubes in here as well. So yeah, so that's a nice little option. You can roll it up that way and toss it in your camper. You're going camping and you need to bring 12 playmats with you. There's the solution for you. So overall, how do I feel about this thing? Am I keeping my backing? Yes, actually, I'm pretty stoked about this. I think this is really nice. It has a pretty good quality to the materials. It seems very sturdy. It stores playmats perfectly well, from thick ones to thin ones. It even can store these Ultra Pro tubes, from what I can tell, and you can store even the larger playmat tubes in the flexible little elastic bits at the bottom. It can roll up, it can hang, it comes with a door hanger, and I don't know if these are part of the campaign necessarily or not, but they also sent me some nice little acrylic rewritable token cards, which I'm actually going to take with me to Gen Con and use those for our Commander games, and a bunch of tokens like some dudes. So that's pretty cool. And a business card. So that was all nice. I know this company did a previous Kickstarter campaign where they did a bunch of Commander Essentials. Those are probably from that. I think they've 3D printed a bunch of other TCG materials. If you guys think this looks like something that you could use in your life, I do feel like the prices are pretty darn reasonable for this in the campaign. Looking at the prices for everything, I got in on the 8x Playmat Sanctuary pledge, which I show on the screen right here, which is $190 Canadian, but $138 US. I felt like to handle probably all of my playmat storage that I need for my massive amount of playmats as someone who's played way too many TCGs for $140. That didn't seem bad at all to me. So that is where I ended up backing it. And as I'm recording this, it looks like there's still a few more slots on that quantity as well. So once again, if you guys think this is something you'd be interested in, maybe you like the material, like how it looks, maybe you're not a fan of the material or the colors, or you just don't need a solution like this, that's totally cool. More power to you. But I wanted to show this to you because I was personally interested in it, and I was the one who reached out to see if they'd send the sample. And yeah, I think this looks like a pretty good product. So if you are, we do have, again, the link down in the description for the Kick Booster link for us that will give us a kickback if you do decide to back it. No pressure whatsoever. This is going to be for some people and not for others, and that's totally cool. But please consider using that link if you do decide that you like the campaign and want to back it that way. So that's going to do it for this video. If you have any questions about the product, leave them in the comments below. I will get to them and try and give you my thoughts on everything. I will try anything out. If there's a certain type of playmat or tube or something that you didn't see, I will hunt it down and try it for you and let you know if it fits. That said, remember, my sizes on my holders are not necessarily 100% accurate to what the final product is going to be. So bear in mind that, might be a little bit of your mileage may vary on that, but that is going to do it for this video. Otherwise, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you found it useful. Check the link if you're interested in the product, and we'll see you guys in the next one.